Good afternoon from a very cold and rainy Milan. This afternoon, we will get into our kinematic system, SMART DX-EVO. The webinar will be divided into parts. The first one, mainly related to hardware, the SMART DX-EVO cameras and all the architecture of this system. And then there will be a little moment for any question. You remember that you can always write your question on the chat, and I will help Marta to coordinate and try to answer all your questions. And then a second part, which will be focused on software, and particularly to some evaluation protocol, which is related to posture. In total, we will probably have 30 to 40 minutes of presentation, and then at the end, we will leave space, room for any consideration, question, or doubt. Another technical information, this webinar will be registered, so in case you miss some part, you will receive a registration of the webinar after today or maximum tomorrow. I think it's all. We can probably start. Marta, are you ready? Bring us in the magic world of SMART DX-EVO, please.
I will try.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you again. I think that some people are still entering, but we will start, and then at some point we will do also have a break and discuss. So first of all, we want to introduce to SMART DX-EVO cameras. So we are going to see how the cameras are organized, are constituted, and the primary focus of this presentation is more about the hardware. So first, EVO cameras are versatile and high-performance infrared cameras. They are characterized by state-of-the-art sensors, 5 inches onboard touch panel computer module, and of course, communication ports, digital inputs, outputs, video outputs, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection for the connection of also other sensors. Regarding the main tech characteristics, the new SMART DX-EVO cameras are definitely the new upgraded. They have the new upgraded touch display for easier focusing and pointing operations. Through also the display, the calibration and acquisition part can be facilitated and improved. For example, it is possible to, at some point, mask certain points and certain parts of the screen to facilitate noise removal and allow also better acquisition and easier acquisition. The onboard processing unit enables instant image digitization, and also the camera allows for self-configuration of the system, such as continuous updating of software and firmware when connected to the internet. Regarding also more technical highlights, as you can see here, there are some pictures of the frontal part and the posterior part with the strobe and the computer module, as also mentioned. It can be up to 26 megapixel with an accuracy of less than 100 millimeter. It has an integration of an unlimited number of cameras, up to 256 digital cameras, with the automatic identification, of course, of markers, and the possibility to have a rapid calibration of multiple volumes, also of different sizes, with no loss of precision, even also in critical lighting conditions. Here we have a video showing in a better definition and also with more images, of course, the characteristics of our new upgraded camera.
SMART DX-EVO is an extremely versatile line of products that can meet all the needs of analytical laboratories, whether in routine use, typical of the clinical setting, or in sports and research. It allows the analysis of complex movements that require large execution spaces and multiple simultaneous assessments of body segments. SMART DX-EVO represents an evolutionary leap in the development of multifactorial movement analysis, now made more accurate, integrated, fast, and productive. The digital infrared camera is based on state-of-the-art sensors and 5-inch onboard touch panel computer module. It integrates the infrared camera with a digitization and image processing system and accessories for interfacing with the outside world, communication ports, digital inputs/outputs, video output, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi wireless connections, other Bluetooth sensors, and 3D cameras.
So as you see, the main difference, of course, we worked a lot on the new hardware. We implemented and upgraded also the technical
SMART DX-EVO
part, sorry, again. And just to meet also the diverse needs of the market, for example, and depending on the applications required, so the type of analysis that you want to do of the customers. We have also available different models for these new cameras, from EVO 2 to EVO 26, sorry. And of course, depending on the resolution and acquisition frequency. If you want also to have other information, further information, feel free also to send an email to us, send a request about more technical information, technical sheets, etc., that we can easily send it to you and explain to you also through our sales managers. So after this main hardware part, now we are going to focus a little bit on the software. So in particular, the BTS EVO Capture. The main software characteristics are the fact that the SMART DX-EVO cameras come with the integrated software, which is the Smart Suite software, which includes data capture, visualization, and processing. So through the software, it is possible to capture, visualize, track, process the data of any type of movement, of course, from the clinical evaluation to the performance, to the sport field, to engineering, etc. The software allows identification of markers in rapid calibration of multiple volumes, and also allows the native integration of other devices, such as electromyographs, inertial sensors, force platforms, video cameras, and also third-party systems. All graphical and multimedia reports can be customizable and configurable to any needs. So you can also talk to us. We can work together on the definition of what type of analysis you want to do. And we also help you in the creation of protocols and processing analysis, and of course, the final report. This is the new software for calibration and activation. So the SMART EVO Capture. This is just a screenshot. We are going to show you also a video of explanation of how the new software is working. The main characteristics of the software is that it is very easy and user-friendly for automatic marker identification. It allows a fast calibration of multiple volumes, and there is no loss of accuracy, even also in critical lighting conditions. You can build your own and set up your own laboratory with the number of cameras that you want, the number of cameras that you need, and create the setup also with the integration possibly of other devices or just the kinematic analysis. And you will find the same easy software that allows you to go step by step and create and first calibrate the system, the laboratory, and then acquire and process the data. This is the video showing an example of calibration with our SMART DX-EVO camera and the explanation of the software itself during the acquisition and calibration.
SMART DX-EVO calibration is quick and easy. First, the calibration routine is a series of actions and commands that must be executed to align and synchronize cameras and markers. The calibration routine allows you to measure the distances, angles, and orientations of the cameras and markers, and generate a coordinate system. Upon entering EVO Capture, you can start calibrating the system with a passive calibration set. Our software provides a set of step-by-step instructions. It shows how to align the calibration tool with the laboratory axes and perform axis acquisition sequences. Next, how to pick up the wand and perform the wand acquisition sequences. At the end of the process, the software will show the calibration result, and the system will be ready for motion acquisition.
All right, so you see from the video that it's pretty straightforward. You start from calibration, and there's the step-by-step instruction, so it's easy also for you to follow the process. Of course, for people that already are using the system is already known, but also for example, other people, it can be a little bit more difficult or a little bit more complicated to do. But in this, I mean, you see in these videos, it takes not so much. So this is nice because you can do it like very easily, fast, and if you don't move the cameras, you just do one calibrations, and then you can start acquiring without like continuing calibrating like every time.
SMART DX.
Okay, now we are going. So we started from the hardware. We went through software. Now we are going to talk a little bit about the architecture of Smart Brain. So Smart Brain has a distributed intelligence with extreme computing power and outstanding versatility. Data acquired from cameras, EMGs, of course, platforms, video cameras are all connected together to the system, processed together and synchronized. Each camera sends the process data to the central unit. The central unit is called by us brain, of course, and which is able to manage and synchronize up to, as already mentioned, 256 cameras at the same time, so with also the possibility to combine different models. We show you here an idea, a figure of exemplification of the possibility to integrate, upgrade, create your own main lab with all the tools that you want based on the research questions that you have, and everything is integrated and processed by just one brain. So it's easier for you because you can upgrade your system anytime you want, starting from just maybe a more basic one. And also, if you think that you can upgrade without different models, you can do it, like, for example, integrated different type of cameras from EVO 2 to EVO 5 to EVO 9, depending, of course, of the movement that you want to analyze. So just to summarize, these are the main characteristics. I just leave the stage to Luca if you want to say something before starting the second part of the presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Marta. Well, there is no question for time being, so I can take the occasion of spending a few words about kinematic cameras and BTS, because I see some people that knows the history of BTS, but not all. We developed cameras since 1986. The first camera, BTS, was founded around the first camera made by Polytechnic of Milano back in 1986. So it is not possible to count the number of versions that we have released until now, a lot, but because we're talking about almost 40 years. But let's say that the principle that you just presented are still the same since the foundation of the company, which is the flexibility, trying to give the possibility of using a very sophisticated engineering hardware device, making it available for professionals which are not engineers or not technicians. And so versatility, flexibility, easiness of use has always been our pillars for the development of our kinematic system and all the rest of the system of BTS. It is still a very actual technology, I would say, because if you need to make some specific evaluation, clinical evaluation, sport evaluation, or whatever, you still need these kind of cameras and you still need markers. There's something happening in the market which is probably modify in the next years the approach to kinematic and markers and this kind of camera. But I'm sure, I believe that for certain kind of evaluation, acquisition and evaluation, markers and these 3D cameras will always be the gold standard for obtaining this kind of information. I don't see any question, Marta, so you can go ahead with the second part of the clinical protocols. Also here, last year we did, you and the development team did a great job taking all the information that we had historically had in our database with different protocols, different posters, and made a very nice work for optimizing and in some cases modernizing this existing know-how of old protocols, which have been now converted to this package that you are going to show. I'm going to show now, you're going to show now. I know you're very proud of this job, and we are also very proud of what you and the team have done. So go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. I will continue here. One second. No? Okay. Yes, now we are going more into the package about the clinical application. So we started from like the what, so what we can use in terms of tools, in terms of systems. So in this case, the kinematic analysis with infrared cameras, our system. And now we are going more the application. So we decided to focus the attention on the clinical application regarding this webinar and also the next one of the beginning of May. And then we are going also to enter, like in next month, more in the sport field and sport performance analysis. So to have also a more like a wider figure, wider like a picture of how to do and what to do with our tools. So as also mentioned by Luca, the importance of measurement. So first of all, movement is of course one of the most important human organic function, and it's programmed, monitored, and regulated by the major physiological systems that work in a mutually reinforcing manner and are connected with each other. Of course, observational analysis for movement evaluation, so just the observational analysis is done in a qualitative way. It is influenced by the subjectivity of the observer, and it is also only in two planes. So for example, the camera record. So advanced technologies evaluate the postural and motor situation of the subject in a more accurate, more precise, reliable, and quantitative way, from the most basic to the most complex movement. So that's the main idea, of course, basic idea for all our systems. Regarding the clinical field, for example, in case of patients with more or less serious motor diseases, the study of motor and postural alteration allows us to have very important information, especially to know the degree of functional limitation, to monitor the development of motor alterations, to evaluate also the efficacy of specific rehabilitation techniques and also intervention. However, while considering, for example, the trunk in this sense as a rigid segment has yielded some specific and basic information on the upper body movement, it is of course clearly insufficient to explain many of the important aspects of the spinal emotion movement. So using kinematic movement measurements, so more sophisticated approach for actual spinal motion, and not just for example, some specific other parameters. These can provide useful information that could assist, of course, clinicians in the management of the patients. So, for example, in particular, some treatment methods such as specific physiotherapy treatments, orthotics, surgery, and also, of course, data can also allow and provide data for the development of more complex musculoskeletal models, also for the futures of other studies. And this is important because you can both base your research on what you on specific and quantitative data, but you can also base your data, of course, on new treatments and new intervention, new physiotherapy programs, mainly tailored on patients' need, which is the most important thing. More particularly, spine, what are spine deformities? So spinal deformity is the abnormal alignment of or curve of the vertebral column. Spine loading, of course, is an important factor in understanding the etiology of the condition, such as, for example, vertebral fractures and the low back pain. Musculoskeletal modeling studies have shown that loading of the spine is sensitive to spine curvature, and greater thoracic kyphosis significantly increasing loading the spine. So a fast, non-invasive technique to assess spine deformities is available, of course, to study posture, aging, spine conditions, as well as to create musculoskeletal models incorporating subject-specific spine curvatures. So this is why some specific kinematic postural protocols were implemented and are already available. They were also available in the previous packages of our systems that are available now also in the new SMART DX-EVO packages. So we divided first our ways to analyze the spine in a very kinematic and basic way in two main setups. So the first type of analysis is a static analysis that, and we here, as you see in this first option, the static analysis of the spine used a suggested setup of 3 cameras and with the 2 different possible marker sets based on the parameters that you want to obtain, based, of course, on the type of analysis that you want to do. And here there's a report example of 2 examples of reports of the static analysis. So the first one shows the analysis of the trend of the spine in the frontal and sagittal planes. Other indicators below show also the angles of scoliosis in the frontal plane, kyphosis, lordosis in the sagittal plane, and the references is given by the markers placed on the spine. The second report shows the difference in millimeters between the right and left shoulders, for example, in the use of orthosis. So in the use of with and without orthosis, to see actually if the effectiveness of orthosis in functional assessment is enough. And the assessment here is performed in both the frontal and transversal plane. So this is the first type of analysis. The second type of analysis is the spine movement analysis. So in this case, the package is composed of 4 cameras, minimum 4 cameras, with 2 different spine motion focuses. The total spine of the cervical, the total movement of the cervical spine and the movement of the total spine. These protocols consist of course, 3 movements, which are flex extension, lateral bending, and rotations. Also, this type of RIP, just to have an example of the report, the movement, and also, the report and parameters that you can obtain. These reports show the degrees of motion and angular velocity of the whole spine and also the cervical district. Of course, in May, an in-depth discussion of this protocol, specifically this protocol, will be presented also in the next webinar by my colleague that will explain in detail how to access the cervical spine, how to evaluate the movement, any movement, etc. So just to have a brief summary before finishing my discussion, I wanted just to pay attention, to focus the attention on the importance, of course, of quantitative movement, the fact that these protocols and the useness of the cameras is easy, especially for this type of analysis that can be performed, just static analysis and spine mobility analysis, spine movement analysis. I just want to finish saying that next webinar will be more also focused on the training and how to perform this type of analysis in May 7. And you are all invited to follow specifically the cervical spine mobility webinar, but also we are open to answer to your questions regarding also the other protocols and answer your emails and get in touch with you. Finally, just to finish, we just want to show you the next events in next weeks, actually, because we are going to ESPRM in Ljubljana. We are going in June also in Hong Kong for a specific, actually, international congress on spine mobility and postural analysis. And finally, in May, we will be in Boston in the US, also for another congress regarding sports analysis. And I think we are open to questions now. If you want to add something, Luca.
Thank you, Marta. There is a question about if we can share the links of the papers that you mentioned.
Of course.
Absolutely, yes. We can put these links in the mail that you will receive with the registration of the webinar. Meanwhile, waiting for other questions, if you can please go back a couple of slides to the webinar. I just want to highlight that the next webinar, okay, May 7, will be a real training on a step-by-step application of one of these protocol with the patient preparation, how to correctly position markers on the spine, the patient acquisition, and then the discussion of the clinical report. It will be made by Diana, right, Marta? Diana will make this webinar on May 7. Don't miss it. And then also, in addition, there will be a specific part for people who don't know yet on how to create this protocol that Diana will apply on a patient, how to create it from zero into Smart Analyzer. So each operator that you need, so it's really a very deep training for new clients or people who are really interested to understand how to use such kind of technology. Okay, there is a question about the final calibration report, which is different from the current one. Could you explain a little bit more? Marta, can you answer this question, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we updated the software with the new capture and, of course, the new way to calibrate the system, which is a little bit straightforward and easier than before. The report of the calibration is the final calibration figure that shows you if basically your calibration needs to be repeated. So if you have like a bad one calibration or it is a calibration success. You can see in the report very easily how to calibrate, like step by step. And if you follow the instruction, usually the calibration is usually has a success. Also, when you have the system like installed by us and with the training by us, we already calibrated the system with you, so we show you how to calibrate for the first time with the position, like the right position of the cameras in the right place, etc. So we will show you like every step of the calibration by us and with us. So in this case, it will be for sure a success. Even if you see that your calibration is not easy to perform and it continues to give you like a bad one calibration, there are some values that you can change, particularly in the setup of the system, or maybe upgrade the number of cameras, or maybe change a little bit the position of the camera, but just like a few things that are tricks to do in case, of course, of band one, and then I mean you are safe. So the report, it's easier. It shows you actually if it's good or not good, and then you repeat or you go on. So yeah, we are changing a bit all the software also in these parts.
Thank you, Marta.
I think we are free.
Any other question? No, not at the moment. Don't miss the next webinar. Will be a very detailed training. Wait a second. We have the protocol and manual already, and of course we send them to follow. But also, most of user always
a
ask
video
us
guide.
for video. Yes.
So we are making videos of our systems, as also you saw here in the webinars. We are creating now new videos of some specific systems or some specific protocols. Of course, if you get in touch with the sales manager of your area, you will have them. If you want, we can send it to you. And we are also in the process of implementing the number of videos at the moment. So it will be like more and more like full of videos. Also our distributor sales kit or clients kit. So yes, if you have some specific requests, please follow the sales manager of so in this case I think it's Paolo. and maybe we can have a call and discuss about the possibility to have like video guides, so step-by-step guide, like recorded by video or images. So this is something that we can discuss about. But we are implementing also this folder with new material every time.
It's our goal this year to create video manuals. You know, if you go to any consumer goods, today companies are very lucky because you find a lot of people, independent people, which goes on YouTube and make a tutorial and videos of anything. Unfortunately, in our world, this is not the case. We are too specific and too niche market, but we have to do it. Absolutely, we have to make video tutorial, video training, because people are no more used to papers and to and to printed manuals. So first of all, develop software which are very intuitive and easy to use. And second, create video manuals to support clients. I don't see any other question. So again, do not miss the webinar, training webinar of Diana next May 5th, 7th. And then if you step by, can you show again, once again, Marta, the calendar with the next events? So we will be in Ljubljana for the ESPRM, very nice Congress. Hong Kong. Honestly, I never been in this Congress, so I don't know it. And ACSM, one of the most important conference in United States for sport medicine. Okay, so no more questions. Thanks for being with us today. I want to thank Marta and all the team which has been behind the creation of this webinar. So Greta, Claudia, Mario, show yourself in my room or Marta room. They're coming there. Okay, ciao. So Greta, Mario, Claudia.
Claudia is shy.
Okay. So next time, once, eccoli qua. Here we are. So Claudia and Mario, all these people, we work in the next month for creating these videos that you are demanding. We know you have this need, and we will work on that. So thanks again to everyone, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.